Hello and welcome to Martin Maths, doing a video on a GCSE Higher Paper from November 2023, and it's paper 1, the non-calculated paper. So I'm jumping to question 2. 2a, part 1 says write down the value of 5 to the 0. Now anything to the 0 is 1, so 5 to the 0 is 1. So for 1 mark, just write down the answer, 1. Now write down the value of 5 to the minus 2. So negative in the power means reciprocal, so that's 1 over 5 squared. And 5 squared is 25. So there we go, using 2 of your index laws to work that out. 1 over 25. Now we have 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 4 all over 2 cubed. And we want to simplify that. So it becomes 2 to the n, with n being an integer. Start with the numerator. 2 to the 5 times 2 to the 4. When I multiply the bases, I add the powers. So it's 5 plus 4. So that'll be 2 to the 9 over 2 cubed. And then when I divide the bases, I subtract the powers. So it's 2 to the 9 minus 3. So that answer there will be 2 to the 6. I've put that in that form, 2 to the n. So now, in this case, n is 6. I don't have to write that, but just to show that I have answered that question fully. And I'll just confirm there, if I want to do it in a simpler way, 2 to the 3, that would cancel with 3 of those there, leaving me 1 there. And then 5 plus 1 gives me that 6. So a different way if you want to do it that way. Okay, so 2 to the 6 is the answer. That's a nice 4 marks there. Again, aim for a mark a minute. I've done it quite fast, so do please pause the video as you need. I'll do one more question in this video. So now we have to write 156 as the product of its prime factors. So I'm going to divide by 2 and circle that because it's prime, leaving me 78. Divide that by 2 because it's even, circle that because it's prime. 39, it's no longer even, so I can't divide by 2, but I can divide by 3. Circle that because it's prime, and I get 13. And I circle that because it's prime, so I can't go any further than that. So 156 as a product of its prime factors is 2 times 2 times 3 times 13. Or if you wanted to write in index form, 2 squared times 3 times 13. And that's a nice 2 marks there. Now, continuing on from that, we want to find the highest common factor of 156 and 130. So you could use the product of prime factors for 130. I can see it's 13 and 10, so it's 13 and 5 and 2. And you can choose a listing or a Venn diagram to see what's common between the 130 and 156, and I should see 2 and 13 and 2 and 13, which gives me the highest common factor of 2 times 13 being 26. I'm going to show you a slightly different way, the table method, it'll confirm the same answer, 156 and 130. Divide them both by 2 because they're even. That gave me 78 as we saw earlier. That gives me 65. I can't divide that any further by 2, but I can divide it by 13. That gives me 6. That gives me 5. I stop dividing there because that's prime and there's no common factors there. And the product of that column is the highest common factor. So the highest common factor there is 2 times 13 is 26. The reason I showed this method is that I didn't have to do 2 separate prime factor trees. I could do it all in one table, which in effect is part of that prime factor tree there. Either way, I get 26. So there we go. That's product of prime factors, and as we saw on the previous page, index laws. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and good luck for your exams.